What's up, Bears fans? I'm Bellissimo. It's Monday night. Well, it's Monday night for me, as you can see in the background. Obviously, we're playing an important game tonight, an important game for the players in terms of them being able to make progress. I've already done a video this week where we broke down some of the good things in offense, some of the things that didn't go particularly according to plan. We're looking at the defense today, and I'm going to get straight into it. So if you can join me, that's cool. If you can't, then that's all right. I understand where everyone's busy, and it's 2:30 p.m. for you guys over in America. So I'm just going to put this onto screen, and this is the first play we're going to look at. As you can see, first quarter, 7:57. So just showing you in the middle of the screen, just sort of the information we've got available to us. 7:57 the time. Obviously, where the ball is, third down, 5 to go, ball on the 41. It's the Bears defense, so we'll clear all of that off. I'm going to show the play through once, and then you can look at, see what we're doing or what you think we're doing. So firstly, Eddie Jackson's coming over here, and we've got, I think it's Jamar Chase out there. So that's some information that we've got already. We got, obviously there, the player that you absolutely must cover. If you're going to cover two players on the Lions, that's one of them, and that's the other one. So yeah, the tight end Hopkinson and St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So you can see for the information already today. So we've got Plank saying bear down here in the chat, joining me live. Thank you, Plank, for joining me live. We've got Rick Ruder, who's another one who's a frequent here. Rick, great to see you. Hope the family are well. Great to see you in stream. We're getting straight into it. So, I mean, this is obviously giving you information. We've got one high, which is, I think, Brisker. Eddie Jackson over here over Jamar Chase. So this is all giving you information. There's obviously Jalen Johnson. I'm not sure who the other DB is. But obviously Kyler Gordon over here. So what you got is just, they know it's man. So you're probably going to get some sort of, release like that. They're going to try and get a man rub over this side. You've got, again, slightly bunch formation here, giving you information there. So, tight ends up on the line of scrimmage. This should all be giving you information as to what you're doing. Rolling it through. And then we'll go back. So you can see it's just a timing route. 3rd and 5, no problem. So 3rd and 5, bearing in mind, they're all out and pretty much in position straight away. Okay? What's Eddie Jackson doing? I mean, if he wanted to go early, this would be on straight away. If he just snapped it now and threw it, you think Eddie Jackson's going to catch Jamar Chase? But anyway, there goes St. Brown. There's a man. We should be expecting some sort of release. We've got a slightly outside shade over here. In terms of what we're doing over the top, it's actually not too bad in terms of coverage. So, again, just sort of rolling forwards and backwards. What we do is, this is called match coverage. So it's not just purely man, although it looked initially from what we saw with Eddie Jackson coming out of here, and we saw Kyler Gordon going with St. Brown. It looks like man. It's not technically man, although it is a form of man. It's a variation of man. What you've got here is you've got what you call match. Now, why it wasn't match over here, I don't know. Because to my mind, if you're going to have match here, so what does match mean? Okay, so what does match mean? Okay, so if you get something like that, whoever goes inside is this guy's, whoever goes outside is this guy's, but you then follow in man. So whatever he does on the outside, so if he goes over here, then you're going to be staying over the top. You'll take the guy that comes over here. So if he goes that and he goes that, then you'll go with that and you'll go with this. And that's what match coverage is. And it's a good way to still play man, but to not get caught on rubs. Okay? So we got rub routes at the top. So bear down, bro, delicious. I'm not sure what your confidence level is. So again, anyway, so what you get is we're getting 3-on-3 to try and leave it single. We've got a sort of a B gap mug, which is going to basically drop. He's a robber for a slant. So, first things on the coverage, and you see TJ Edwards, he recognises fairly early on. You got mesh. So they've got mesh, which is a man beater here, and we've got just basically an out. So off the line scrimmage, St. Brown goes first, mesh comes under, so that's a rub there to get this guy free. And then you've got a rub there to get this guy free, and then this mesh, one under, one over. It is, again, all of this is man beater stuff. So whether this is an audible or whether they just suspected we were going to be coming in man, what I do like here is TJ Edwards is smart enough to go underneath. Because at the end of the day, if the receiver runs into him here, we've still got the DB over the top. And Kyler, to be fair to him, he just, at this point, he just stays too static with his feet. He waits. He's at 5 yards for the stem because that's where the first down marker is just across the field here. So he's just too passive there, and he switches, and then the ball's already out. It's at the sideline. It's easy. It's an easy throw and catch at the end of the day against man. It's an easy completion. So let's have a look, see what we've got up front in terms of the Bears offense and the defense. Sorry. What I do like is we've got Walker at 3 tech, and Ngakwe, and we've got Sweat over here, and it's Justin Jones. So this really is sort of a NASCAR type package in terms of defense. Let's say we've got a comment in chat. It says confidence level for tonight is pretty hard for a team with 3 wins. The O-line is a different animal than it was in the first Vikings game, that's for sure. But is Getsy a different play caller? That's the question that I think we really do. Sorry for my my sarcasm, but I mean it's a question that we really do need to get answered because Getsy's. I don't know. I broke down the offense earlier in the week, so let's see what we get. So basically, we're going to get trying to get one-on-ones. At the end of the day, they're going to have 2 over here for Sweat. That can pretty much mark him out. Center's going to have to basically try and go. What you normally get with this is a loop stunt around. So it is, but the problem is you have to attack this shoulder of the center as this stunt. You need to attack this shoulder of the center, this left shoulder, as we're looking at it, the right hand side of the defensive lineman. You need to attack that upfield so he engages, and then you hit the guard. Because at the end of that, it's supposed to loop around the back like that and leave a one-on-one. So you got, that's the lead. It's supposed to go like that and then like that. That's the way the stunt's supposed to be called. And it's just a little bit late by Walker getting disengaged on 75. And because he's looking across, you see him looking? This is information to the guard. Okay, well, I'm getting someone from my right. And it's just an easy tell there to get that picked up. And it is picked up. What you do get is Ngakwe with a bull rush. Pretty good. Watch his hands here. Sorry, watch his hands here as he engages with Decker, isn't it? Is the left tackle. Look at that extension there, that punch, that extension to get free. But what he needs to do at that point is, as soon as you get that, is to chop the hands down and away from you. That's how you get disengaged. So how did Sweat do on the far side against Sewell? So he comes up. He gives up his chest plate a little bit too easy. You see Sewell's got his hands on pads, but what he does do well, you see him levering those arms down and then getting free. And then that, if it goes any longer than this, that then gets called a hold because he's outside of the frame of the body and he's able to pursue. So, gives it up a little bit early, but then does beat a very good right tackle around the edge at sort of 6 to 7 yards. Trouble is, though, Goff doesn't really have to move more than 3. Ball's out, on time. St. Brown, there's an easy completion. Looking at it from the other side. Again, this is an alert call. So you see Goff here. Just to highlight him. We're going to see an alert. So that's changing it from zone to man. So it is, possibly. That's the sort of thing that we're looking at. So it's changing it from zone to man. So let's clear that off. And then you can see Gordon just a little bit stale. But they actually deal with this mesh. Whoops, get the right tool on. They actually deal with this really, really well. You see both of them go over this way. And they get underneath that rub, which is the mesh over the middle. That's actually a pretty good play there. And it's good coverage here. It's good coverage here. To be fair with Kyler Gordon, it was decent coverage by Kyler Gordon. I mean, he's pretty close there, but close only wins with the horseshoes and hand grenades, as my granddad used to say. World War I and World War II veteran. Been departed a long time now, but that's that. So I'm not sure what you thought on that first play, but I thought it was interesting that we got a match coverage. I mean, it looked very much like man to start with, and that's kind of the way you want it to look, but you've got the match, which is there to sort of, what I do like to see is where he shows zone and run match, which is match man. Match means basically man, but you take whoever comes to if you want, your side of the 2 players. So if you've got 2 players next to each other, that's what match means. So we'll run it through the first play. So you can see, again, fullback, pre-snap information for Jared Goff. So what does the OC for the Lions do that we don't do that much on the Bears? Good to see you, Cornelius. Great to see you in the chat. Cornelius is, if you follow any Bears YouTube content, he's pretty much going to be in chat, guaranteed. It's great to see you here. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate your time. So again, fullback, converted linebacker, fullback out there. So pre-snap information. So by alignment, I mean, if a fullback's out here, then who's going to be going over? Well, you see Sanborn's actually coming out. So that would suggest there's going to be some sort of variation on man. I always say to people, look at the alignment between receiver and DB, and this is going to tell you whether you're going to get a man or zone to that side. Now, we're showing cover two. So we're showing cover two. Oops. Get it off my squares, get it on my circles. We're showing cover two with the two safeties down here initially, but we played a lot of rolled coverage. Okay, what is rolled coverage? Well, it's where you show cover two, but then one safety will rob and then the other one will drop, and you get either a cover one or you get a cover three or something along those lines where this guy, this DB might come back for a three, this one might come back for a three. He comes down and then he robs the sort of the short flat, and there's lots of variation, lots of game that you can do with the free players as to what you're going to be doing in that zone coverage. So we'll let it run. So the motion comes across, tight end obviously changes the strength. Now we're in sort of offset eye, so it all sort of looks like a run to this side, under center. So he's pointing out the mic, which is Edmonds. We're blunt, you see, we're bringing up. So now we've backed off. What I don't like to see is, that's St. Brown, that's their best receiver. I'm just going to say this, just look at how many times their receivers get free releases off the line of scrimmage because it's infuriating. I'll let it go, we'll run it through and then we'll see what you can see. So you see Sanborn coming up there. Yeah. So there's some good parts of that play. It still ends up being a 6-yard gain. No, sorry, 4-yard gain because Montgomery's there. 4-yard gain. But at the end of the day, some good things, some bad things. Okay, so what did we see? Okay, so we rolled the safety down, and the strength has come to this side. So why the safety is coming to the weak side when you've still got a linebacker out here, I don't know. Unless you're going to be blitzing this linebacker off the edge, and he's going to be basically making up the three. So then you're going to be sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 against 6 on the line. So you can see 5 against 6 on the line, plus a fullback, 7, plus the halfback. Again, looking at strength of the field, what you want to do is you want to count up the offensive players and you want to count up the defensive players that are there to stop them. And this will give you an indication, sort of pre-snap, of where you want to be thinking that they might be going if they're sensible. And it's just basically straight zone. So tight end comes up to block. Just change my tool. Yeah, so tight end's going to get a hand on there, and then he's going to try and get down to... So the first one, hand's going to go there, release down to Edmonds. That's the plan there. But what I do love here is look at the speed with which Sanborn makes a decision. He says, right, I know what they're doing. And you've got to come up and you've got to be physical. And that's how you stone and maintain the outside leverage here. Because the problem is Rasheem Green takes an inside move and it's zoning towards him. As soon as he sees this zone towards, you have to wrong shoulder it. Okay, so let's just get Coach Speak Bayless up on screen. Coach Speaks Bayless. You need to wrong shoulder it. So if you're going to your right, and as you see on screen, it's to your left, and they're coming towards you, you then need to dip that same shoulder that you led with. So now you see the guy that's coming towards you has got your back and not your front. And by doing that, what you do is you split this double, but you're keeping basically your upfield shoulder, your right shoulder, into the right side of this, as he thinks his right, our right. We want to get to this half of that double. We want to get to this half of that double, leaving our left hand free to be able to make a tackle. You see Green just gets pinned. And then as he gets pinned, Sewell gets to the outside and he blocks him. So the reason why they get this yardage is basically because Green does not wrong shoulder this block here. And he should be in this position here now. He should be on this side of Sewell. Should be here. Square to the line of scrimmage. Able to, and then if you do, you're pretty much your aces because all of this is then clogged. There's no cutbacks if Green is here, which is where he should be. He should be wrong shouldering this, splitting the double, and then being in that position, Sanborn's on the outside, great, and we're aces. Yeah, hopefully you're finding this informative, guys. I'm not saying a lot of, and then you see Sanborn he's getting held a little bit because he's been a bit grabby, the fullback. He's a linebacker by trade. You see him swing him away. What I do like here is Edmonds is then left one-on-one with the tight end. You see him he basically shocks his shoulders, gets clear, gets down, and then gets into a drive. So you're in the tackle now. Now you drive and push the man to the ground. So good work up front. Again, the key, we'll use the correct tool. The key is here. And this is where I'll show you what a wrong shoulder technique is. So basically, I'll get the right tool on so I can actually talk about what I'm telling you about. So we're going to get a double. Ideally, what they think they're going to do is this, and then go to the second level. That's what they think they're going to do. But green is going to come here. So it's going to be just basically, he's going to be left there. Green's going to come in here. So that's going to make it easier then for Sewell to get on the outside. Sewell to get on the outside. Tight end to get in here on his target. And once you see that zone away, that's the wrong shoulder technique. You see this here? That is the wrong shoulder technique. So this, I think, is actually Gavon Dexter. So you see, what he's done is he's gone to that side, but the centre's come towards him. And you see he's kept this right shoulder into the right shoulder of the defender, of the blocker, sorry. And you see how now his left hand is free? That's the technique that Green. So if you watch the difference between the technique, wrong shoulder technique, both of them have got to do wrong shoulder technique, and they don't end up doing wrong shoulder technique. So that's the reason why you're going to have this issue, is because Dexter does it, Green does not. So you see Dexter zones towards, okay, wrong shoulder technique, split the double, keep myself free, and then Green comes in, gets pinned between 60 and 58. That means now, because if Monty cuts back here, Dexter's got him. So you can just split the gap and then follow up behind the tight end. So you can split the gap, follow up behind the tight end and make yards. And it's because this guy has got himself into an absolute pickle by not doing what this guy did, what Dexter did. So Dexter did it right. Rasheem Green did not, and that gives all that room for Montgomery to get through. And you see Jalen Johnson there, nice firm hand, pushes his blocker into the gap, which actually helps out with the tackle. So you see that there, pushes the receiver into the gap, and that really does help Tremaine Edmonds make that tackle. So good stuff from Jalen Johnson, good stuff by Edmonds. And again, the difference, is watch how he plays double, watch how he plays. Same technique at the end of the day. It's the same. They should be doing exactly the same technique. Yeah, he's really improving both as a pass rusher and as a run defender for me. So this is the difference. Everyone's doing the same thing. Ultimately, we're all doing this. So it's like a 4-3 if you want 1, 2, 3 over +1 over as in over the tight end. But the problem is when you get yourself into this, you've then got to, again, watch Dexter, watch Green, watch the difference between the two. You see how Dexter sees him coming towards, he stops his feet, stops running with his feet. And then Green just, see how he's got completely overwhelmed there. Dexter's got himself completely free. I can assert my dominance on this gap. Green's completely trashed. And that's the reason, that's the difference. That's the difference between, so that is a personnel decision. So why is Rasheem Green playing at that point? Again, it's something to think about. So again, pre-snap information, ball is on the 50, 1st and 10. Lions have the ball, Bears are up, which, it's absolutely mind-boggling to think about what actually happened in this game. But again, pre-snap information. So again, pre-snap information, tight end is out here. Who's out here with him? Well, DB this time. So that tells you zone, some form of zone. And then you see the other tight end, see the exchange? So you got Hawkinson, which is here, and the other tight end, which is here. Just gives him a nudge on the way pass. So they're changing the strength from right to left. Okay, so it was a tight end in line there. It was a tight end. It was a tight end in line here. It's going to be a tight end wing to that side. Hockenson comes out. Now you got Hockenson against the DB, potentially. So again, in terms of what does it look like we've got in terms of coverage, this is the infuriating thing for me, is look how easy a release it is for 3 out of the 4 receivers. How easy is that release? No trouble at all getting off the line, So let's play it through. You can see what happens. So we do actually change from what looks like a 4 into a 3. And that's what really catches. It's actually, I like the fact that we call this and get a rub. And to be honest, I mean, the problem is that the tight end is basically doing a post against what he thinks he's trying to split the seam here. That's what he's trying to do, because we're trying to get busy against what we think is cover 4. It's not. Oh, bless him. This is Briscoe. Okay, just keep your eyes on Briscoe. Oh dear. I mean, that is. I mean, you could call it OPI, because the tight end definitely sees him coming. And he flashes his hands. And to be honest, Edmonds here he's a free man. So we're going to cover 3, basically. That's the cover 3. We've got man there. So that's going to be man on that. He's a free man. He's basically going to say, right, I know my safety is coming down to play man. So I'm the free man. I'm going to patrol the centre. And what you should be doing is just checking here first to see if that's coming across. So you want to see his eyes go to the right, which they do, just quickly flash. We're dropping a defensive end, which is, always an absolutely mystifying thing. But to be honest, if he's not interfered with here, you've got Stevenson over the top, you've got Edmonds underneath it. It's still an opportunity for this to be picked off, because you've got a Robert underneath, player over the top. So tip drill, he catches it. Anything like this happens where, unfortunately for Briscoe, he gets absolutely blindsided. But Stevenson gets it, and it's a turnover. So again, you see that motion come over, and it's like it's split wide. And Goff is looking that way all day. He doesn't look anywhere else. So blitzer Edwards comes up. And Green comes absolutely free, and still he manages to get his hands up. But as Sewell, you see Sewell just say, right, I've got to protect inside out. I've got to protect inside out. That's where I'm taking. He's got a completely free run now. A free run. And Goff throws it out there. And to be honest, where he's thrown it to, it's weird placement is all I can say. So we go into it. So Pickens it's basically come free, and that's the so it's a blitz. There we're gonna so that's the blitz. Dexter's gonna be going inside. Pickens is going there. I think we actually he drops, doesn't he? Walker drops in defensive end. And Machine Green is like, why is this white again? The alignment. Look at the alignment. Look at the alignment. Is that a planned thing? Is it supposed to be that wide with no tight end? Because don't forget the tight end. There was a tight end here, in which case you're a wide 9. As soon as that tight end left and went over there, you should maybe close up this gap. And if you do close up this gap, you're a step closer. And if you're a step closer, because look, there's Hockenson, wide 9. So how much does he narrow? A step. And it'd be still incredibly wide compared to what we've got here. If he doesn't do that, he probably makes, if he basically starts from here, he probably gets a sack here, or Edwards does. And Sewell does a great thing there by recognising it, coming in and stopping Edwards. And, Green does get his hand up at the end of the day. But like I say, if he throws this any further inside, Edmonds has got that. But the contact is what takes the ball away. At the end of the day, Stevenson does a good job, gets the ball. Yeah, Bro Delicious. It's the reason why is because as I showed it on here is if you watch that's the intended receiver, and if you watch him and Brisker, the reason why maybe he's a little bit short on it is because that happens. If not, he's a couple of steps further inside. But even if he is, that ball would then be behind him, and then Edmonds has got a chance to make a play on it underneath. So that was that play. So play 3 into play 4. Again, I'm going to roll through it once. Yeah, heading home. Thank you. Yeah, bear down. Yeah. So there you see. What did we see there? What did you see there? So first of all, again, what you get is a change of alignment, and as the strength changes, you've got the flexibility for these two guys to be able to change between being a 1 to a 3 and a 3 to a 1, which is exactly what happens. So 1 changes to 3, 3 changes to 1. Okay, and then what I do like here is you see some real elite. You see him watch him drop his right shoulder and get inside the guard and centre. Drops his right shoulder, the guard completely misses. He's thrown in the backfield, and I'm no expert on the rules. That looks like a hold to me. That looks like a hold. So again, just don't know if you can see it there. That looks like a hold to me. It is a hold. It's the only reason why it's not. We're not talking about Zach Pickens getting a tackle for a 4-yard loss, because if he's not held there, it is a 4-yard loss, and it ends up being minus 10 yards. But at the end of the day, up front, again, that's the guy you're going to be keeping your eye on. Does a fantastic job here, I think. So look at the guard. The guard's trying to fire around and get a piece of him. And again, I'm not sure if anyone wants to, maybe, I don't know, what's the best way to highlight this? Maybe something like that. If you want to take a snapshot, and that's probably the best angle we can get of it. That to me looks like a hold. Is what it is. Didn't get called. Seldom does. Halfback cuts to the other side. Look at Edwards, TJ Edwards. The reason why he's getting the amount of tackles he is, he's a sniffer. So what do I mean by a sniffer? So Edmonds in his gap. Edwards hiding from his cutback in the hole. Pickens should have had a tackle for a 4-yard loss. But good work up front. Dexter gets a half tackle there, I think. So Gavon Dexter, I think, gets a half here. But again, you see Zach. So what I do like, again, is Dexter. You see Dexter, he's just holding his ground and fighting. Double can't get there. Edwards comes through. Is it 95 Walker? It's actually Walker that gets the tackle from end. So it's Walker gets in the tackle. Dexter gets in there in the end. But at the end of the day, it should have been I mean, look at that here. And to be fair to the refs, they did spot it, but that's so athletic by Zach Pickens. That really is fantastic stuff. So I don't know about you. I was enthused by that as something to be encouraged by, particularly from the two rookies. We've seen a couple of really good plays from them already. So again, let it roll through. In terms of coverage, again, pre-snap information. Fullback is out at the perimeter, right on the edge. He's on the field side, on the widest most. Fullback is there. Pre-snap information. DB on the outside, DB on the inside. Safety's walked up. Looks like cover 2, but again, there's no effort to walk off the line. It's just a free release all the time off the line. And we're just so late to everything, but we're really fortunate. There's 2 in here. This is zone at the end of the day, and we're a bit lucky. We're following QB's eyes, but I mean, in terms of what we're doing, this is foreshadowing. So foreshadowing. Why am I saying this is foreshadowing? they're going to roll into a cover 3. So what do I mean by cover 3? We're going to get essentially that is the cover 3. Sorry, this is the cover 3. So we've already seen them roll from cover 2 to cover 3 once, twice. Now we've seen it a third time. Brisker in man on a tight end. So again, in terms of manned up, pretty good coverage, but there's a massive gap. There's no one threatening the middle of the field. Why we are so far detached, I don't know. And again, last man has left your zone. So cover 3, which is zone here, he's going away. So that's your last man. And the Bears don't do it, and I don't see it. Edwards and Sam on a very similar plays, and it's sense Edmonds playing Will to help pursue on the backside run plays. Sanborn is a better Mike than a Will for me, or a Sam for my mind. But I think both of the Edmonds and Edwards have better long speed, but I think all three of them are pretty interchangeable, to be honest. What I don't like is we're running zone. Yeah, Gordon's got to be out here because we've got a half-back swing in there. Last man's left your zone. You've got to commit to man. Okay, we are manned over here. One high safety is not really covering anything. You get a sit here behind the back. Edwards has nothing else to cover. Comes over. Edmonds comes down onto his guy. Comes over as that comes over the back. So as 19 comes over the back, just get an undercut, and it's a good hands. At the end of the day, you got to catch it and you got to do something with it, and he does. So good stuff. Look at it from the other side. What are the defensive line doing? Really good ball rush there, boys. And that's. I thought Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is trying to Mahomes this a little bit. You see, his feet are a little bit, and he stands on Decker's ankle a little bit, and he has to reset his left foot, and then he tries to arm it there. You see, his feet are completely planted and wide. Just tries to arm it there. Never sees Edwards at all. Easy catch. But that, I'm afraid, is on Goff. That's just bad. Again, watch the ball rush. They're both one-on-one. See him get his hand up? Look at that ball rush. One-on-one against the guard. Just walking him back. It's like, 6 yards in the backfield now? And Walker very, very nearly gets there. He does actually make contact. So Walker very nearly gets there. Actually makes QB hit. If Dexter just gets himself up in the lane there, he can make a play, but Edwards does make a play. It's the second interception for the Bears. Pretty good stuff. The sound you can hear in the background is my son is being quite loud, enjoying himself downstairs by the sounds of things. Dexter left defensive end was a nice wrinkle. Yes, we are actually going to cover that play. So we are going to see Gavon actually do that. So goal line, pretty important. We've got the big boys on the field. At the end of the day, you've got Billings, you've got Dexter, Walker as that end. I'm not sure if that's Sweat. No, it's Yannick Ngakoue. This really should have been a pick six. So again, we're really, really late sort of deciding what we're doing over here, but we are in man. 87 comes completely free. If Goff just throws it back of the end zone, Hawkinson's got this for a touchdown. I mean, that's as free as you want it. And this is a man beater, so it's just literally a levels. It's zone and man, because the man element, the man beater, is that you're going to get a potential rub. If this is man underneath, you're going to get a potential rub right there with Hawkinson coming to the back of the end zone, front of the end zone. It's a high-low read. It's one high there. And Goff why he's throwing to some Brown there, I don't know. But this has got to be a pick six. It has to be. If you want to get paid as a cornerback, you've got to catch this and six it the other way. Again, a lot of sort of late confusion. We seem to be very late down to the ball because they've obviously set, St. Brown in the backfield. Quite clearly, you can tell it's man because there's Jalen Johnson right there. and he gets clear. Interesting wrinkle, actually, because you got 2 under and you got 2 over. So levels, okay. And then you got, obviously, Hawkinson's on the outside, but he's basically doing that, and you're getting that across the front of the end zone. So you're getting almost like it's quite an interesting concept, this is. I think both of these are going to come free, or one of them's going to come free, because at the end of the day, there's no one here to cover this underneath either. So good play design, because I mean, if he throws that, it's a touchdown, and it's a mesh there that you can see coming across from the other side. But he throws this way too early. I mean, that's how open Hawkinson is. That's how open he is. But Jalen Johnson, you've got to have that, dude. Both hands on it as well. And you can see, yeah, Costas, I mean, that's the sort of thing that does cost you games. But, I'm not going to be angry because he plays this in man and he undercuts it and he gets himself in a position to make a play. You've just got to make a play. You've got to catch that. And then Jackson, almost, we do slate Jackson for a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, the reason why Jackson should be slated here, that's his man. They're in man, so that's his man. Hawkinson, completely on his own. So it should have been a pick 6, but there was other bad things there as well, I'm afraid. And again, it's sort of foreshadowing what's to come, sadly, and unfortunately for the Bears. It's 1st and 10 on the 25 going out, second half. This is the 2-minute drill before half time. So again, free release, not impress, outside alignment, showing zone, looks like quarters. In fact, inside alignment here. So you'd suggest that you'd be thinking Johnson might be in man. We're going to get a rolled 3 again. So 1, 2, 3 is possibly going to be what it is. You're going to have man there. You're going to have Edmonds in man. Yeah, man in the backfield. And that's kind of what it looks like. And if you want to hit that, you can hit that all day. And he does. And then Edmonds is right here. He's right here. And what we're covering over here, again, if your man's left your zone, if you're in zone and he's just running a stick route, you need to be getting over here. You've got to make that tackle be short of the sticks. It's just, we seem to have very little clue. And again, this is your zone. This is your zone. It's the short middle. Goes to depth, but then he's got to depth. Why is he not closing? As your man leaves your zone, okay, he's not my problem anymore. He's gone. This guy's coming into my zone. I need to be closing this gap right now. And we get another 1, 2, 3. Then think about it. Oh, he's caught the ball now. Now I've got to catch up to him, and he gets a handoff. Easy first down. Get down. Away we go. What do we get in terms of pass rush? Dexter 1-on-1. Ball rushing his man right up the middle. Almost makes contact with the QB. Yannick Ngakoue against Decker on the outside. Doesn't really get much sweat. This is Penei Sewell that Sweat's going against right here. You want to say that he's not elite. He's doing this to one of the best right tackles in the game. Just literally runs him into the backfield. Excellent pass rush there by Sweat. And Dexter, I just want to see a little bit more, work him laterally as well as you're ball rushing. So that just go in a dead straight line. You sort of, work one way or the other, just get your hand up. Almost. And he does actually get his hand on a pass later that we're going to see. So there's some good things to like from the D-line there. Some bad things in coverage. Yeah, a lot of wide alignment. You're not wrong. There was a lot of wide alignments, and not a fan of Edmonds' play considering he's making $20 million a year. At the end of the day, he's about 4 games into his season, isn't he? Really, He's missed a lot of time, which is unusual because he's played every single game before that. So getting into it. So third quarter now, after half-time. I mean, you know what happened in that second quarter. It was just soft coverage all the rest of the way. So again, pre-snap information, tight end by alignment, safety over the top, tight end, safety, one high, cornerback over a wide receiver. So pre-snap information for your quarterback. And that's how you run a stunt. So what's the stunt? Sweat's basically going to occupy Sewell straight off the bat. We saw this with Edwards when Green got caught inside and Edwards went behind the back. Sanborn, no. Very, very, very effective. He gets there in a hurry, man. I mean, people talk about his lack of athleticism. He's doing a pretty good job there. What I do like here is watch Billings. This is very unsung work. You talk about occupying your defenders. Look at the push he's getting against two. The push he's getting against two there. Fantastic work by Billings. And then, Sweat again, making Sewell look silly, really, there. But Sanborn gets the sack. Good work. Again, all you want to do is occupy him, let him run off the back. We don't get a chip from the halfback. He's straight out. Edwards in man. And then it's too late. It's too late. If you're not already throwing it, it's too late. Good coverage. Good coverage. So, you're slating Edmonds. J2K, I don't know if I'm not trying to pick you out here, but just putting that there. That's pretty good coverage. That's pretty good coverage. That's the guy they want to get to over here. No chance. Sanborn, get the sack. In we get. And Sweat on this disengage, Cyril, bless him, sees him flashing past, tries to get a piece of him. Khan gets turned around. Sweat gets in there as well. If Sanborn hadn't wrapped up, Sweat would have. I mean, that's just good stuff again. Again, just as a point of focus, watch our man Billings here. Watch our man Billings working centre and guard. And the other guard, has to follow him. Look at that. Look at that. Go, big man, go. Definitely deserved his extension. Look at that push. Right up the middle. Fantastic. Really good stuff. So some good things from a D-line. So I mentioned what Rasheem Green didn't do right. I'm gonna credit where credit's due. I'm going to point out a play where he does well. So again, pre-snap information for the quarterback. We're interested in Johnson potentially as a head coach replacement, maybe, possibly. The offensive coordinator for the Lions. Pre-snap information, there's Hockenson. Halfback goes further into the backfield. Now we are what looks like almost two tight end set, but it's not. It's a wide receiver. Very tight bunch. And what you tend to see on this sort of thing is you get that, and I'll just let you, because that's, again, this is foreshadowing. It's a run play this time. And what I do like about this is the way Green, look at the disengage there with the tight end. Just wraps around the back and then attacks up. Walker from the far side, he really should be nowhere near this play because it's zone away. But look at him beat the inside and then crash down. So really good stuff by Walker and really good stuff by Green. So it's a tackle for loss by both defensive ends on what looks like almost like a two tight end set, but it's zone away. That's really good work. And then again, who's the other man causing all the problems in the middle? Is that Pickens, rookie, playing the guard? See how he keeps his left side free? On zone, that's exactly the way you want to play it. And Dexter, playing the double in here, does not give a yard against the double. And look at him pushing the guard back. Really good stuff up front by the Rooks. I want to get the other angle. So both of them do really well. The technique here, working the double, holding your ground here, attack the block and disengage, attack the block and disengage, and then pursue from the backside, zone away, and then play the front side by disengaging your block. That's all the good stuff on this play. So again, Dexter, again, it just reads and reacts really, really well. And Zach Pickens also read and react really, really well. It's zone, so he goes with the zone. See how he keeps his play side free? Keeps his play side free. Play side arm is free. I can make a tackle right here. Dexter, I'm not going to let this guard get down to the second level. I'm going to stay engaged and split the double. Remember we talked about wrong shoulder? Your right, whichever side they want to go, you want the nearest shoulder to it to get in the gap. So if they're going to your left, you want your right shoulder in the gap. If they're going to your right, you want your left shoulder in the gap. That's wrong shoulder technique. Does it perfectly there. And then two ends, crash down, tackle for loss. Really good stuff up front. Really good stuff up front. So again, we're seeing stuff that's, it's good. It's good. So I'm sorry to do it to you, J2K. I'm going to put it on screen again while we let this play roll. I'm going to take it off just before we start. There he is. Gavon Dexter with an assist here. Really good stuff. Again, just sitting in the middle. Two middle linebackers. Well, two linebackers in the middle. Both got interceptions. So again, unbalanced defensive line. I say unbalanced. It's because we're almost like a head up. Well, like a 1-eye if you want. Outside shade 0 if you want. And then again, inside shade 4-eye and like a 5. That's the point that we're looking at. So there's a question that's come in. Is there a particular D-line personnel grouping you would not want to see the Bears include in the rotation again? I think where you're going to have a second stream defensive tackle set, you need to have at least one starting defensive end on there. Where you're going to have pass rush, you don't want to then hamstring it by having guys who can't get home on the outside. So it's really about situation more than groupings. You want to have the right people on the field at the right time. I mean, it sounds fairly self-evident, but that's the way it is. That's what it actually is. So again, what do you get as the motion comes, and we see that we're in man on the outside, but we're not. We drift over the top. So again, this is like it's to get a free release here on the rub. But then watch the eyes. This is the really important part. The eyes of Edmonds. So he knows there's 3 to this side, 3 threats to this side of the field. Okay, we could almost at the snap we could almost throw a blanket over him. A large tarp maybe. We could throw over the 3. He knows that's a runoff, which means that's going to be coming underneath. And as he releases, watch him drive on the ball. This time he does react better and he drives on the ball a little bit better. And why is the ball so far inside there? Because he's definitely not throwing it to here. I think he's actually trying to throw it here. Why did that happen? Well, then as we look from the defensive backfield, we'll just get into the defensive backfield because it's a better view. Gavon Dexter, Walker, Sweat, and Gakwe. This is the pass rush set you want to have on there. Watch Gavon Dexter here working the centre. Works left half and then watch him stop his feet. That's the important part. Plant with that foot, attack that shoulder, which he does. And then he swims over the top. You see him swim over the top with that left arm. Gets his right arm free. Gets his left hand up, in fact. And as the ball, sees QB winding up, punches at the ball. And look at that as he makes contact. He actually makes contact with the ball right there. And then look at the way that this deflects the flight of the ball. Straight into the linebacker. Easy as you like it. I don't know if you saw this here. Come on, Dexter's just made a play. He's already claiming it. Look, he's like, Stat, give me the pass defense. Give me the pass defended. Gavon, just look for somebody to hit, dude. That's all I want you to do there. Just turn up and hit somebody, which, to be fair, he does. And then I got the tip. Fantastic. Love it. Love the enthusiasm. Really good stuff. So we're seeing some good stuff. We're seeing some bad stuff. We're going to see the easiest sack that Josh Sweat's ever going to get. Thank you for joining me. Where Goes One joining us. Just plugged in. Keep it up, Bellissimo. Again, pre-snap information by is it Ben Johnson? Fullback is we got two DBs. Pre-snap information for your QB. Sweat here. Ngakwe. We got Billings and Jones in the middle. I can't tell you how hard it is as a 6'6", 280-pound man to stop your feet, even though Goff isn't the most athletic of guys. Again, zone away, zone action away, yeah? So you want to get upfield, you want to split the double, which you see Billings wrong shoulders it, perfect technique. Jones read and react, but he should be attacking the inside shoulder of the tackle with his left shoulder upfield. That's the right, wrong shoulder technique, which he does. See how he keeps his left shoulder in contact, gets his right shoulder free. Billings, left shoulder between guard and centre, keeps his right shoulder free. Perfect technique by D-line. Sweat doesn't get, and this is the real key thing here, if he crashes down on this like this, he's never going to get this sack. He's so smart to basically stop his feet. Okay, now the QB is going, and then look at the acceleration to close the gap. And what is he doing? Is he running at where the QB is? No, he runs to where the QB is going. And then sack. Easy as that. Really good stuff. There goes the man. There goes. Again, he's into this sort of like, run formation. We've got a DB up. So we've got, you can quite clearly see DB's walked up. Cornerback is up. We're ready for the run. And again, the technique, so as they zone away, you've got to get the shoulder that's going to be attacking is going to be the one to split this gap. So this shoulder, his left shoulder has got to split this gap. His left shoulder needs to stay inside the left shoulder of the tackle that's coming to get him. Keep that shoulder this side of it. That's the way you want it. That's the technique. And again, we start off really chasing it across. But then you see he's just slowing down. Okay, I'm going to wait to see him hand it off. Okay, he's not handing it off. Look at him stop his feet there. Look at the change of direction here. Like a DB. Comes up. Easiest sack Josh Sweat's ever going to get. Really good stuff. Chasing him down like he's taking down a calf. Going to rope him in a second. But again, what I really want to focus on is the technique. Because, again, we're not talking about, particularly exciting stuff. The sack is the exciting stuff. That's the stuff that, most people are going to show you. Oh, yeah, brilliant. He got the sack. Yeah, we can all see that. What I want you to see is the technique of these two defensive tackles and the technique of this defensive end. Where they're zoning towards you, the most important thing you can do when they're zoning towards you is get upfield because you've got to get contained. So rather than pass rush, you've got to then get upfield. So rather than sort of go, straight in there, we're going to pass rush. They're zoning towards you. You've got to first step across the line of scrimmage, then you worry about the rest. Technique of these guys. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Jones, he's got Sewell and a guard, but he keeps that side free. He's got his gap integrity. He can go both of these gaps. He's really helping out his linebackers there. Yeah, he gets a good shove off, and probably the least impressive of the three there. Billings really is fantastic there. So is Ngakwe. That's really good stuff. And then Sanborn's coming in there. Kyler Murray around the outside. There's no chance they're going to run it that side. And at the end of the day, Brisker stays in man. Eddie's coming down over this. Nice tight coverage here by Stevenson. And there's no chance Goffey's ever going to outrun Josh Sweat. Again, really, really, really fantastic work by Billings here. Can't stress it enough. But that's really good there by Jones. It was saying about attacking the guard and keeping that left shoulder in the play. Yeah, he gets pushed off there, but he makes contact with the tight end, slows him down. That makes Brisker's job a bit easier. And again, Sweat on the back end. You're going to see that. Doesn't because most people, they just chase almost completely flat across the line of scrimmage. He doesn't, just keeps coming drifting into the backfield. Okay, there's the handoff. Look at him stop his feet right there. And then that acceleration right there. Great stuff. Really good sack. Yeah, I mean, Montez wants his name back. I mean, he's going to make QB sweat if he keeps doing stuff like this. Sweat's closing speed is so impressive. J2K with the observation, absolutely. But the ankle flexion as well, to be able to turn at 6'6" and 280, that's super impressive stuff. But, yeah, fantastic stuff. But the Bears have this sort of stuff, and it's just, unfortunately, we're getting into the fourth quarter now. And this is where it all starts to go wrong. And it's just, we go from attacking the run and attacking the pass, and we just go, I mean, what the fuck? Pardon my language. It's just so easy to get off the line of scrimmage against the Bears. And we can't decide whether we're up in press. I mean, look how far off we are. It's third and long. I will give it that. It's third and long. Sweat with an inside moves. This is interesting because this is the overload that we were talking about earlier. I think there was a comment. Was talking about a 9, Gavon at 9. I'm just going to see if I can get that comment up from earlier. Yeah, there we go. Credit where it's due, J2K. Credit where it's due. Dexter at left defensive end was a nice wrinkle. Here he is. He actually does really, really well at left defensive end as well. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive. Hopefully the coaching doesn't let us down. The coaching does, in my opinion. In my opinion, it does. I'll let you decide what you think at the end of the day. But again, you know, you're talking about, okay, so let's put the lines. That's the line again, yeah? Okay, so I get it. You want people at the sticks. And we've got 5 of them at the sticks. But you've got a guy that can make you miss and, you know, a pretty good tight end. It's just, and again, this is all Dexter. And completely overshoots because he's trying to throw it to his tight end. Completely overshoots. You've got to have this. And we don't. 3rd and 13 at the end of the day. They're probably not going to get it all. You know what I mean? They're not going to get 3rd and 13, but they could have got 3rd and 10. But it completely overshoots that. And, you know, you see there, we're right in a position to make an interception there in the 4th quarter. It's the second one dropped by Jalen. What to do? I mean, this is like, you know, super wide pass rush. 2 defensive ends, 2 defensive ends. You've got a defensive end there and a defensive tackle there. It's actually a really good rush at this by Gavon Dexter here. And Sweat actually gets a really good rush as well. So I'll let you look at the 2. We're going to look at Gavon first, I think, probably. So Jones, no, it is actually Jones. What I like about Jones's rush, straight upfield. So no sort of like, you know, there. Straight upfield, spin move inside. Okay, it's a planned move because we're going to get an inside move from Dexter as well. And look at Sweat attacking guard and center here. Keeps both of them, and he makes pretty good, you know, they're 4 yards in the backfield. But Dexter, upfield, again, this is against Penei Sewell. Makes the chip just look stupid, comes inside. He's so close to actually taking this down. Really good stuff by Gavon Dexter. But you've got to catch this. You've got to catch it. There we go. Another missed opportunity. That's another two. We had 4 turnovers and we could have had another 2. You know. Next play. So this is the drive where it all went for me. This is the turning point of the entire game. This is the reason why we lost it, is this drive particularly. And we're going to focus on it a little bit. So again, I'll run it into the play, and you can decide what you're going to get. So again, not so much pre-snap information here because they know that we're in prevent. We're in what looks like quarters. Okay, so quarters, so four to deep in. Motion goes across, that confirms it, it's zone. So what you're actually getting is it's actually cover 3, I believe. It might even be cover 1. It is cover 1 because that's out to the boundary. We got across the middle, just complete. It's just too easy. So sit out, deep in. That's the routes. I mean, for me, this is offensive pass interference because St. Brown grabs the shoulder of, I think it's Kyler Gordon. It is. Kyler Gordon's actually on this tight end, but he comes off his man. So he's in man, but he comes off his man to play the tackle in here. But this is OPI. This is offensive pass interference. You can't grab the shoulder. And then he pops free behind the back. It's a decent throw by Goff at the end of the day. Again, easy first down. And then the yards after this catch, Eddie Jackson and Kyler Gordon are in on the tackle right there at 41-yard line. Where does he come down with the ball? On the 41-yard line. Again, OPI, I think, but you're not going to see the angle there. I mean, Eddie, what are you doing? What are you doing? We've got to make this tackle. We're swiping at the ball rather than taking the legs away and playing patter cake over the top. So there goes Kyler. Decent pass rush by Gavon again. I think it's an ET twist. Yeah, it's a tackle end. There's the stunt. Works pretty well, actually. Yannick gets there, almost gets home. We're getting a QB hit. Good work by Gavon again against the double, affecting the pocket integrity, but it's just an easy pitch and catch. But offensive pass interference missed, but then the worst bit is, caught at the 41, and you let him run for another 9-10 yards. Bear down, indeed. Bear down. Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope we do. Let's hope we don't see this kind of coverage again. So after that play, into this one, they've had one more play, 6-yard quick under. Again, in terms of coverage, I get it. I mean, it's second and short at the end of the day. Second and short. There's where we started. That's where we're going to. If you don't think that's going to be an easy sit there, I mean, if you're in zone, by all means, sit in your zone. If you've got someone attacking your zone, we don't. You've got to come up closer to this. You've got to come up closer to this, and we're backing off, and we're backing off, and we're backing off. And I think that's Kyler over there. And again, it's like, where are we going? That's the only one that's actually in position. That's in position. That's pretty good. But we're redundant. We're redundant. It's just staying in your zones rather than when the last man leaves your zone, convert it to man. If he leaves your zone, convert to man. Just trail him. He's the last threat. And then Edmonds comes up. We're short. We're short of the first down by two full yards right now. And then not only do we do that, we let him get out of bounds. So Jalen comes in, completely over pursues. Sorry, TJ Edwards comes in, completely over pursues. Easy as that. You know, in terms of pass rush, good rush by Walker from 3-tech, gets home. Green, to be fair, decent pass rush. Nice rush by Walker at 3-tech there. But for Christ's sake, you've got to make that tackle. And then if you're not going to make that tackle, just don't over pursue. And then letting him get out of bounds. This is 4 minutes left to go. This is the point. That's the only threat to your zone. That's the only threat to your zone. Just get up tight on him. You know, there's Walker again. Really nice rush. Beats him. Very close. Close doesn't cut it. I said it before, I'll say it again. Close is only good for horseshoes and hand grenades. So, not that encouraging. And then, what's the very next play after that? It's this. The very, very next play. Immediately after that play is this. So again, motion the tight end from one side to another. That tells you it's zone. Okay. You can quite clearly see these two are talking to each other. Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson. Okay, who's their threat? There's St. Brown. And I'm going to go quiet at this point because it's just, what the fuck is that? Seriously, you're in cover 3. Okay, you're in cover 3. Whoever the deepest man is, both of you should be able to make a play on this. But because this one goes there, at the end of the day, again, what I'm talking about is where the last man leaves your zone, convert to man. So last man out, you follow him in man. So if he goes out there, the way I teach zone is you follow him. There's no other threats. So follow him. So as he goes out, you've got him. And then this doesn't sit on it. And why? If it's cover 3, the deepest man cannot get deep of you. That's the whole point of it being cover 3. It's the whole point of it being cover 3 is you do not let the deepest man get deep of you. And when you sit on a route that's at the sticks, I mean, look at the hesitation. And Eddie Jackson, I'm sorry, but what the fuck? That's just, it's just too easy. Too easy. There's the motion across. There we go. Jalen Johnson's equally at fault on this for me, I'm afraid. But as the last man leaves your zone, we just sat redundant, doing nothing. So, yeah, we've got 7 in coverage against 4. But that's how easy it is. I mean, look at that. Just abysmal. Pass rush. What does pass rush look like? Again, Zach Pickens with another fantastic bull rush. Look at that, literally walking him into QB. But when he coverages like this on the back end, it just ain't good enough. It just ain't good enough. Yeah, I mean, it's cover three. Both Johnson and Jackson, you cannot let anyone get deep of you. And this is Jameson Williams. He's an absolute speedster. And to let him get within 4 yards of you before you turn and then go, it's abysmal. So that's got. I mean, you can still see we're still holding the lead. 2 minutes 44 left in the game. We're still holding a lead. 2 minutes 33 left in the game. So again, a motion. What's the motion telling you? Again, alignment. What's the alignment telling you? Zone. Again, it looks like quarters. I mean, that for me all day is holding, but then just the tackling is just piss poor. Right. So there's Walker. Watch what happens. I like him at 3-tech. I think he's really good at 3-tech. I think he's far. Just beats him outright with a club and swim, and that's how this isn't holding. I don't know. I'm not sure how that's not called holding, but it's not. And again, in terms of zone, we're into that cover three again. So it looks like cover four. It's cover three. We've done it several times in this game. Again, in terms of coverage, pretty good there, pretty good here. Sanborn is looking at the two threats that are coming from that side. Fine, good. Fine with that. Stevenson over the top of his man. No problems there. Jalen Johnson over the top of that. No problems there. I think that's... Who's that? Is that Brisker? Yeah. And then, no, it's Eddie Jackson again. Oh, my God. So here's Brisker. He's the cover one. Yeah, the guy who can tackle is going deep. The guy who can't tackle is coming up to make a tackle. And he reads it pretty well, And we're short of the sticks, so we make contact here. Okay, make contact there. Another 7 yards. So again, another alert called by Goff. It's just a dagger. Whoops, wrong tool. It's just a dagger. And then it's that easy. And to be fair, again, I'm no expert on the rules, but I think the ref has a pretty good view of this. We've got a pretty good view of that, I would have thought. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a ref. But that to me looks very much like a hold. And again, converted for a first down because that's the attempt at a tackle that we make. It just bounces off it. We make contact, another 6-7 yards. He's like at 2:33, so they know the clock's going to stop. Again, just watch it there. Good pass rush from a 3-tech, that. And, for him to turn at that angle there, look at that. Look at that turn and attack the QB. He's so close to getting there. It would be funny, wouldn't it? Lol, we've got lol in chat. It would be funny if it wasn't so serious and just altering the, the momentum, because that's a 10-yard penalty, loss of down. And, then they're first and 15 and second and 15. It just pretty infuriating. So we get probably one more possession before 2-minute warning, 2:05. So that they don't have to press the sidelines here. They don't have to get out of bounds. You can see, it's immediately after that play that we just saw by Montgomery. And they were just, they're just trying to get a few yards here. And on first down, just a simple handoff. And that's what happens. Very rare Jack Sanborn missed tackle. But this is big up yours. I mean, the problem is that, okay, what I don't really want, and again, Jones is there, yeah, he's at like a 4-eye, yeah, 4-eye technique. We've got Walker, who's a better 3-tech, as a 1. So this, when you talk about personnel groupings and it not doing you a lot of favours, this probably is an example. Because guard and tackle come and pin him. It's an easy cut outside. Sanborn, at the end of the day, that's a run blitz. Sanborn's coming over the middle. We've got nothing to protect this gap. Easy cutback. And then when we can make a tackle, which is kind of there, we don't get him, and then we don't get him, and then he makes another 6-7 yards. And Eddie Jackson tries a starfish tackle. So, good stuff all around. Again, it looks very much like a designed Jack Sanborn's meant to go that way, which would make me think maybe Brisker should be coming more this way. I don't know. That would make sense to me. But again, Walker is lined up inside the guard, gets guard and tackle as he tries to press across. You've got to fight against that double. Do a spin move or something. Do you know what I mean? Spin. And it's, again, he hasn't played a lot of 3-tech. So there you go. It's 2-minute warning after this play. Up over the halfway line. At the 2-minute warning. Just getting pinned like that, you can't get walked off like that. You got to spin and fight against it. And Brisker again is he's guessing play side because it's zone that side. But we got 3. We got Sanborn is meant to go this way, and then Brisker is kind of guessing this way. Just you don't need to be up to make the tackle. You got to, there's a gap appearing quite clearly. And to be fair to him, David Montgomery sees it, makes the most of it. So that's 2-minute warning. But again, it's why are we calling this defense at this time? Why are we calling this defense at this time? 1 minute 48 left. They've got 1 timeout left. We've got 3. Ball on the 42. 2nd down, 4 to go. Distance, 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 distance. 3 releases. What is it? It's mirrored routes. So all it is, because at the end of the day, they want to get out of bounds, don't they, folks? So if you want to get out of bounds, the shortest boundary to get the ball out quickly to save yourself the most time is right here. And where don't we cover? I mean, they're both open because we're so late getting off it. If we're up in press, let's say, for example, let's just say for argument's sake, we're up in press on both of these. Then all of a sudden, that doesn't work as well. Okay? Our linebacker is expected to be over the tight end in man because he is in man. And we're so late. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's down. They're set. We're so late off it. And we're sending a blitz, which means you're in man. And we're nowhere near. It's just, what are we doing? We're this late to the call. We're not even over where we're supposed to be here. And we're just walking, everyone's walking. Why not take a walk? It's like less than 2 minutes to go. And then Jackson's looking in the backfield. completely ignoring his man. I'm not going to blame Edwards. He's a linebacker at the end of the day. It's just it's a poor coverage called. Yeah, it's calling a blitz. Yeah, blitz doesn't even have time to get home because it's just so easy just to pitch and catch. Nearest to the sideline. Easy. And then the final play I'm going to show, because we know how it finished. A minute left to go. 1st and 10. I mean, again, you might be thinking we might be playing man, we might be playing tighter because we're not far to go to the end zone. There's St. Brown. Massive free release. Closer, but still not impressed. And just again, easy for the first down. Just so soft, the coverage. They ran it in basically 2 plays later. They ran it in. But again, who's the one guy they're going to go to? Amon-Ra St. Brown. Because we're so far off, I mean, Briscoe's fairly close at the end. But why are you giving their top receiver in the slot just such free access? It's just soft. In terms of the pass rushing package that we've got on the field, Rasheem Green, 2 rookies, Ngakwe. No pressure at all. Take as much time as you want. Throw it to your number 1 receiver. No one's covering him. Briscoe gets tight at the end, but when you give him so much time like that, it's just pretty poor. And that's for me. There was some good things there was some things to like, which was when we stayed aggressive on the defensive line, when we played the correct techniques, when we give ourselves a chance at the end of the day. We look like a better defense when we're playing match coverage. So you can show that in zone or in man. So you can either trail man and then match whoever's going inside, outside, as I described earlier. Or you can make it look like a zone. So you make it look like a zone. You don't trail the motion, but then you convert to man. And then again, whoever's inside, the inside man takes him. Whoever's outside, the outside man takes him. That really does mess with the quarterback's head. That's coverages I like to run. I like to show, if you're going to show cover 2, cover 3, whatever. I'm not a big fan of a team that is largely passing because we've been stopping the run so well. I'm not a fan of giving free releases all the time to every single wide receiver on the field and every tight end that's on the field, giving them a free release. A tight end that's in line, you should be hitting him inside of 2 yards and really hitting him, on obvious passing downs. A wide receiver, you want to have up in press over the top, and then you're going to get your zone help over the top of that to that side. But you get up in press, you get up in the face, particularly where they're going to stack or bunch. Bears just aren't doing it, and it's just it's not good enough. And EberfLose, it's his system, it's his scheme, and for us to go as soft as we did, particularly in the 2 minutes at the end of the first half, and to give up a touchdown in less than 2 minutes. And then to do exactly the same from 4 minutes out, we're playing protect the sidelines, which we're not even doing because we're so late out of huddles on defense, which means the calls are coming in late. It is. The coaches do need to be going. Eberfluse is the next Reich. He was fired today. Getsy can go as well. I mean, it's been so obvious for so long. They really are lame ducks. So what are we doing? It makes all the teams are getting the advance march on us. Steelers can find their OC. Panthers can find. I mean, Tepper at the end of the day, I'm not sure who's going to want to work for him, but Panthers can go find their next head coach. But we'll wait and see. I mean, I expect to see more of the same on defense. I'm afraid our zone coverage, particularly underneath. We've got people sat in zones that are covering nothing, doing nothing, and that's it's so outdated as a defense. It really is ridiculous. I mean, look at teams like Kansas City's defense, the way that they run their zones. Look at the way the Eagles run their zones. Look at the way such better coached teams and better coordinated teams. The offense, I did earlier, Mick, go back and take a look at that video if you want. But this is me, Bellissimo. I'm debating whether I stay up to watch the game tonight because it's going to be so late for me. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit like, share it on social media, please. It all helps it grow. I'm going to be running some more charity streams to try and raise funds for non-profits and to start helping the community. With that, I'll ask you to do the same. Be kind to people. If people don't share your opinion, that's okay. Let them share their perspective, and you give your perspective. But don't tell someone else what to think or how to feel. You don't know their journey. So be kind, bear down. This is Bellissimo. Take care.